Hello. So, why not a flat earth? They've lied to us about everything. And since we know that, since we've learned that, it is March 28th, 2025. The findings of the pyramids, under the pyramids, have been seen, and we know that money means nothing. So, I've started reading my Bible, and I was reading it, and I'm telling you, it was like a bucket of cold water fell on me. So I'm going to read the verses that I wanted to share with you and tell you what how it relates to words and the verbiage and how important language and words are these days. We got to be super careful. Don't want to hurt anybody's feelings. So as I was reading, Genesis 8:3, and the waters receded from the earth continually. Period. At the end of 150 days, the water had abated. That's a long time. 150 days, the water receded continually. That doesn't stop. Continue has a break. Continually, and further, continually is under the word contingent. So just keep that in mind. So I read that in Gen 3, 8:3. I had to go up to 8:2. The fountains of the deep and the windows of the heaven were closed. The rain from the heavens was restrained. Wow. I was like, I don't know. Okay, well, that's interesting. So I go back to Genesis 1 because the Bible was written by many different people and was put together, over time. It was rewritten twice, the Council of Nicaea and the Council of Trent by the Catholic Church. In Genesis 1:2, it says the earth was without form and void, and the darkness was over the face of the deep. These is the words that I want you to pay attention to. Face of the deep. It says face of the deep, faces of the water, faces of the land, faces of the ground. Okay? And the Spirit of God was hovering over the face of the water. We're in Genesis. And God said, let there be an expanse in the midst of the waters. So in Genesis 6, 7, 8, and 9, it talks about waters having layers. I think this is where the flat earth has a lot of their foundation. Several times. Because in 8, he says, God called the expanse heaven. Okay? So in, like I said, 6, 7, 8, splitting the waters. Because under let the dry land appear, called dry land earth. So I understand. Those do not seem like enough for flat earth. I was like, how did this make sense? So I go back to Genesis 7:11. On that day, all the fountains of the great deep burst forth, and the windows of the heavens were open. And then I went to 7:10. And after 7 days, the waters of the flood came upon the earth. I'm going to read 7:11 again. On that day, all the fountains of the great deep burst forth, and the windows of the heaven were open. Noah had a week to get into the ark, and he was 600 years old. I'm going to keep going more in Genesis and tell you Again, 7:3, it says face of the earth. 7:4, face of the ground. 7:6, the flood of the waters came upon the earth. 7:17, waters increased, rose high above the earth. 7:18, high above the earth, the ark floated on the face of the waters. 19, waters prevailed so mighty on the earth that all the high mountains were under the whole heavens covered. 20, prevailed, covering 15 cubits deep. 15 cubits. They say a cubit is 1.5 inches in the dictionary, which is here. Then there's, right before that, is a cubic is a measurement in volume. Okay? And Revelation 7. After this, I saw 4 angels standing at the 4 corners of the earth, holding back the 4 winds of the earth. Now, those winds seem like the seasons to me. And I just wanted you to see and hear all of those. Oh, let's not forget Genesis 6. When man began to multiply on the face of the land, and daughters were born. So you have those Bible verses. And then I'm going to look up the word face. So yes, the first definition is from the forehead to the chin, includes the lips, nostrils, and eyes. Is a make, form, face. But the 5th definition is surface. A1 is a front, upper, outer surface. 2, the front of something, having 2 or 4 sides. 3, a facade. 4, exposed surface of rock. 5, any of the plane surfaces that bound a geometric solid. Gutenberg's printing press first book was the Bible in 1455. Now, if the Bible was your only source of information about the land that you lived on, where would you think the waters came from? Would you think of the waters on a globe? Or would you think of the waters on a plane, like a surface? You know, these things just shot out to me, and I wanted to share them with you. That's the message. That's God's word. The Bible is real. God is real. And you just keep being you. Take care. Be good to each other. Humanity is in crisis. We are all we have. The flood is real. Better get to work.